But welcome. I'm so glad that you could be here today. And if it's you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to this session. My name is Emily, and we're just going to begin by settling into the space where you're sitting, placing your hands across your chest, and just beginning a gentle bilateral tapping here, a little butterfly hug. And you might like to close your eyes down, or you might like to keep them open. It's totally up to you. Also up to you if you'd like to stay still or if you'd like to bring a gentle sway to your body. And we'll just take a nice big deep breath in, breathing into the belly. And big sigh, letting go of that air. And you might like to repeat that in your own time, just breathing nice and deep. As you bring to the forefront of your mind anything that has been worrying you, maybe causing you some anxiety, maybe making you angry, anything that you're not wanting to carry with you into this session for this time that we have together. See if you'd like to express it from your mind and your body now and put it into this giant worry bowl here. There's enough space for all of the worries of the world. So you might choose to speak some things aloud, or maybe just sigh them out. You might like just to hum and imagine them coming out with the vibration of the sound. Or perhaps even just closing your eyes and imagining that these things are coming out of wherever they are lodged in your body and in your mind. You might like to imagine that with each exhale, you're letting go of something that's been worrying you. Just letting it come on out through your mouth, out of your mind. And perhaps we'll all take a nice deep breath in together, breathing in through the nose, into your belly. And then on the exhale, you can sigh that air out and just let go of any tension in your legs, in your lower limbs, in your ankles, your knees, your calves, your hips. And when you're ready, you can take another deep breath. And this time, as you exhale, just focus on letting go of any tension in your upper body, in your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your back. And we'll take one more deep breath in together, breathing in through the nose, filling up your belly. And a big sigh, letting go. And we'll put that giant bowl of worries and concerns out of sight, out of mind. If you want anything back at the end, you can just let me know. Now we've gotten rid of what's at the forefront of our mind, let's give our subconscious mind permission to release as well. So you can repeat after me, saying out loud or in your mind, I give my subconscious mind permission to release my worries and fears now. We're just going to take a moment to check in with the body and notice where you might be storing some tension, where there might be some blocked energy, where things need to start flowing again in your body. Maybe it's just all over. Maybe it's one place. Maybe it's a few. Just tuning in now to anywhere that feels a little stuck. You might like to make some little micro adjustments. And what we're going to do is we're going to tap our way over each part of our body and imagine that any of these stuck areas that you're tuning into are able to flow with your own life force energy through your body. So we're going to take our hands slightly cupped, place them on our lower belly and tap from here up the body, shifting all of that life force energy of ours through our body. Now, if tapping is too much for you, you can actually do the same. You can go over the same areas in a brushing motion, just brushing the energy. It's a bit more gentler. And then getting to the middle, you can either be brushing or big happy seal clapping in the middle. Either way that you're doing it is perfectly fine. I'm just going to move over each of our limbs and shifting our own life force energy, shifting any blocked areas, any stagnation, get it moving again. And coming all the way down, a big happy seal in the middle. Round of applause for us all for being here and tapping your way or brushing your way all the way back up and giving yourself a pat on the back for being here. And gentle raindrops down the front of your face, down the center. Just tuning into that sensation and seeing if you can soften your expression a little here. And another row just down the edge of the face. And then bringing it over with gentle fists over the top of the head. Now, again, if that tapping's too much, you can just be running your hands through your hair. If you can manage the tapping, then we'll do 3 rows. And the last one just above the ears and down and around. And then finding your kidneys on your lower back, tapping here and tapping all the way down the outside of your legs. Onto the top of your feet and then back up the inside. And coming to rest your hands on your belly. Once again, take a deep breath. We're actually going to do another round of the same thing. It's up to you if you'd like to do the tapping or the brushing. Just going again, moving over these parts, moving any blocked energy within. Just going at your own pace. You might be quicker or slower than me, that's totally fine. And see if you can put that big happy seal smile on your face in the middle and tapping your way back up. And a big pat on the back for pushing through whatever it is that you've pushed through in your life, those blocks and barriers that are within or around you. And for being here today, a round of applause for us all yet again. And tapping all the way back up. And another big pat on the back. And just bringing your attention back to your face again, gentle raindrops down the center. And another row. And one more down the sides. And gentle fists over the top of the head, or maybe just fingers, or maybe you're running your hands through your hair, whichever way. Do 3 rows. And then finding those kidneys once again and tapping your way down the outside of your legs. And back up the inside. And just resting your hands back on your lower belly. You might like to close your eyes down for a moment here. And just take a few deep breaths. And as you do take these breaths, I invite you to just check in again with how it feels in your body in this moment. So you might be noticing that slight buzzing sensation from the tapping, having moved your own life force energy through every limb, feeling that flow moving throughout your body. You might be noticing that your thoughts are able to come and go a little freer. Or maybe you're noticing something else entirely. And whatever you are noticing, just witness it without any judgment if you can. Just notice it. How does it feel to be you in your body in this moment? And I invite you to see if you can make yourself even more comfortable. You might like to grab a cushion if you have one. If you'd like to stay seated, you might like to just hold onto it. It can feel really nice and supportive. Or you might like to lay yourself down using the cushion for your head. Maybe you want to give yourself a nice tight hug or a softened version, one hand under one arm, the other across your chest. Or maybe just your hands in the lap. However you'd like to place yourself, I invite you to just find a comfortable position for yourself now. You can close your eyes down if you'd like. And now as you begin to settle into your space a little more comfortably, you might like to continue that check-in on your body. Perhaps you'd like to start at your feet and noticing how they feel when they're still. And maybe noticing how they feel against whatever surface is beneath you. And you might choose to move from there, from your feet, scanning upwards, noticing the sensations through the rest of your legs. Perhaps pausing for a moment to check in with how it feels in your hips. Maybe you're aware of some tension releasing here. Perhaps with each exhale, you're able to relax this area a little more. And you might be choosing to bring your attention to your stomach, noticing the internal sensations here. Maybe noticing that as you breathe, your belly moves. And perhaps your attention follows the rest of your bodily movements that coincide with your breathing. Maybe noticing how your ribs and chest move as you circulate that air through your airways. Maybe you're choosing to tune into the rhythm that your heart has set for this moment in time. Your unique rhythm, that constant steady beat in the background of the song and dance of your life. And you might be feeling called to bring your attention up to your neck. Maybe you're able to relax your throat a little more with each exhale. Perhaps also allowing a softening of your jaw. And perhaps you're able to allow a softening of all of your facial muscles. Whilst at the same time you might be able to feel the worrisome energy shift out of your brow, letting that worry simply fall off your face. And in a similar way, perhaps you're able to let go of the thoughts that are whirling around in your mind, recognizing that here in this moment, there is no need to hold on to them. Here in this moment, what's actually needed is for those thoughts to float on out of your mind, simply letting each one go. And you might notice how, as you relax even deeper now into your body, each breath allows for even more of those thoughts to become freed from your mind. Noticing how each exhale is an invitation for your body to let go of a little more tension. And perhaps your own body is inviting you to settle even deeper now into the experience of relaxation, knowing that there is no right way and there is no wrong way to relax. There is just your way. And as you relax in your own way, only as comfortably and deeply as you choose, you might decide to give yourself the luxury of full comfort. And knowing that in this moment, there's no need to change anything. You can simply be, just noticing how it feels to be here now. Letting your body settle and letting your mind soften, like leaves falling gently onto a quiet forest floor. And as you continue to breathe, I wonder if you might allow yourself to drift into a memory, a time when you felt connected, whole, a moment when things seemed to flow easily. Perhaps it was before this illness, before the challenges, when everything seemed within your reach. And as you recall this memory, you might notice how your body feels and the way your mind responds. Perhaps a sense of nostalgia arises, or maybe even a sense of loss. And that's okay, because today we're here to gently explore that, to honour those parts of yourself that you may have lost through illness or challenge. You see, life is like a vast, ever-changing landscape, and sometimes the terrain is smooth and easy to navigate, and sometimes we find ourselves on rocky paths we didn't choose, but here we are, walking them anyway. And perhaps you've noticed that during these more difficult times, it can feel like the world is in control, like you're being led by circumstances rather than by your own inner wisdom. And maybe there are parts of you that you feel have been taken by your illness or by your experiences. Pieces of yourself that once felt strong, capable, vibrant. And it's okay to feel that loss. It's okay to grieve those parts of yourself that feel far away right now. But I wonder if you can imagine that those parts of yourself are not truly gone. Perhaps they've simply changed form, like a tree in winter that appears barren, but still holds the potential for new growth beneath the surface. And as you think about those parts of yourself that you feel you've lost, I invite you to consider that they are still within you, waiting quietly for the right time to re-emerge. They may not look exactly the same, but their essence, their strength, their beauty remains. Now imagine for a moment that you are standing at a crossroads. In one direction lies the path where external forces, illness, circumstances seem to guide your steps. But in the other direction, there is a path where your own inner strength and your own choices lead the way. And as you stand there at this crossroads, you're able to realize that you have the power to choose. You may not be able to change every circumstance, but you can choose how you respond. You can choose how you care for yourself. You can choose how you honor your needs. And with each choice, you are able to reclaim a little more of your own power and your own control. And just as a butterfly emerges from its cocoon transformed, so too can you emerge from your challenges with a new understanding, a new strength, that comes from deep within. For you are exceptional, not because of what has happened to you, but because of how you accept yourself in each stage of this journey. Exceptional people accept, encourage, and are kind to themselves. They know that healing is not always about fixing, but about honouring, about nurturing the parts of themselves that need care and attention. So as you continue to breathe, allow yourself to feel a deep sense of compassion for all that you've been through and all that you are becoming, knowing that you are not defined by your illness or by your challenges. You are defined by the way you choose to embrace your own journey, to reclaim your power from within. And perhaps you'd like to allow yourself in this peaceful, quiet moment to simply be, to breathe in that strengthened understanding of your own power to choose, and exhale out that old feeling of powerlessness. You might like to breathe in empowerment. Exhale out that old heavy sensation of powerlessness. Let it go. Knowing that while the world around you may shift and change, your inner world is yours to nurture, to guide, to strengthen. Just continuing to breathe in that sense of power, that empowerment that you can embody, and letting go of anything that's blocking it there within. And now, having allowed this sense of empowerment to flow through your body, you might be starting to notice the sensations that are happening within you. Or perhaps you're choosing to focus on the sensations on the surface of your being. Wherever you're choosing to place your focus, allow yourself to fully tune in there and notice what's happening for you. What's rising up? What's settling? Perhaps as you gently reawaken your body, you're able to notice a feeling of lightness in some areas. Or perhaps you're feeling heavier all over, maybe feeling more grounded and aware of the weight of your limbs. Perhaps you're noticing that you're bringing back with you a sense of clarity, a more peaceful mind. Whatever you're noticing within and around you, see if you can simply witness it without any judgment, simply letting everything be exactly as it is, allowing yourself to be exactly who you are and exactly where you are in life. I invite you to join me in a nice big deep breath in through the nose, breathing into the belly. Big sigh, letting go. And you can feel free to bring yourself back into awareness now. Perhaps you'd like to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll those wrists, pointing, flexing your ankles, maybe shrugging your shoulders. Just making whatever micro adjustments your body is calling out for in this moment. And whether you're lying down or sitting up, you can remain exactly where you are. We're just going to connect in with our bodies a little, placing our hands on our neck and shoulders and just massaging in here. If you'd like, you can stretch out your legs a little bit, just getting some movement back into your limbs. And just focusing on connecting with any tension that you might be storing in your neck and shoulders. Maybe you'd like to shift your head around nice and slow and controlled. Or maybe you'd like to keep it still and simply massage in. Just exploring how you can connect with your body in this moment and noticing how it feels. And we'll give our hands a little break from massaging now, stretching your feet out in front of you, your arms up over your head. And we're going to induce a big yawn here. And another. And just circling those wrists and those feet, coming back. Bringing your attention to your face and just massaging any worry out of your brow. Bringing it down, pinching the eyebrow when you get there. Just shifting that worrisome energy away out of your face. And once you get to the edge of your eyebrows, you might like to find your eyelids and just paint a nice soft line there, appreciating the softness of your skin and then moving slightly further up. Pressing firmer on your eyebrows when you get there. And just shifting that worrisome energy off your brow in the other direction, moving across your face. And coming down to your temples, massaging here for a moment. And down over your cheeks, finding that joint in your jaw, allow your mouth to fall softly open. And massaging in anywhere that feels tender and tense. You might like to shift the direction of your hands around a little bit, just seeing how it feels as you apply pressure on different areas. We store so much tension here in our jaw, especially if you clench your teeth in your sleep. So you might notice that it is a bit tender. And you might like to give your cheeks a smoosh. Just shifting that skin around in circles, up and down, forward and back. And taking that gentle pressure or firm pressure to your nose and exploring the bridge of your nose and around the sides and underneath, onto that upper lip. And onto your chin as well. Massaging along that jawline. Taking your attention to your ears when you're ready and just massaging all of the surface of your ears. and around in front and behind. And then just taking that gentle pressure down either side of your neck, massaging down your vagus nerve there. And again. And if you like, you can take your hands around behind your head and just massage in to the back, the base of your skull, the base of your neck, and up into your hair if that feels good for you. Maybe in gentle circular motions, or maybe in lines through your hair, whichever feels right for you. Just exploring the sensations that arise. You might be noticing tingling in your legs or in your arms. And when you feel like you've explored all throughout your skull, and just bringing your attention down to your collarbones, we're just going to open up our lymphatic flow for the day. So just pressing above the bone and below, we're just going to rub back and forth 10 times over. And then tapping on that same area. And then on the other side. And then tapping. And now that we've opened it up, we'll come back up to just underneath the jaw there. And it might feel a little tender here. So just rubbing gently downwards 10 times over. And then tapping. And then on the other side. And tapping. And then bringing those gentle fists into the center of your chest. We're going to go from here all the way out to the edges and back and forth. We'll do this a few times over. Make sure we cover this whole area. And then tapping 10 times. And then underneath one of your arms. And then just punching into that little crevice of your underarm. And on the other side. Gets really blocked up in here. And then just underneath your breasts or pecs, just alternating that top hand back and forth. And then tapping. And then just finding that crease in your groin and in a down and out motion with your thumbs, just pressing down into that crease 10 times. And then tapping. And then just finding underneath your knees, we're going to rub here 10 times. And tapping. And then just coming back to a seated position if you're able to. And if you're not, then you might like to just imagine that you're doing these exercises and see how they feel. I'm just going to take our arms out to either side and just do some gentle rotations, just strengthening our rotator cuff, strengthening our arm strength. It might feel very easy to begin with, but you might notice some heat start to build and they'll start to feel heavier. And if you like, you can take it over to one side for a nice big lean, still strengthening the arms while strengthening the core. And then coming back to center, taking it out to the other side, same thing. And back to center. And if your arms are tired, you can let them come down either side and just give yourself a couple of shrugs here. And we're just going to take our hands, clasp them together and press out and away from the body for a moment. Really opening up the back of our shoulder blades. And if you like, you can twist a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, just noticing all those muscles in your back that are being used. And then taking that same stretch up overhead. Now, if you want, you can do a little bit of a back bend and just see how far you can go back, just noticing those stomach muscles that engage to hold you there. If you like to let go of your hands, you can. You can place them together in prayer if you like. You can't actually see my hands, can you? However you'd like to have your hands, just see if you can lean back a little and just notice the strength that's required in your muscles, in your core. Don't take it too far, just gently, gently. You might like to counteract that by coming forward, perhaps with your feet together, just leaning your body forward. Now, if anyone's in a chair, then that will look a little differently. You might just like to make yourself steady on your chair and to lean into that, create a nice little opening in your hips there. But if you are on the ground and you're able to, just placing your feet together and just bringing your body forward, maybe walking it forward with your hands or just holding on to your ankles and leaning forward gently. And just coming back to a comfortable seated position. Placing your hands up into our genie pose. We're going to make some wishes here. So just taking a breath in the middle. Exhale out and twisting over to one side, and we'll hold here just for a moment. And then when you're ready, just bringing it back and starting again. Deep breath in the center. Exhale out, twisting around, and hold for as long as you're able. And then bringing it back to center. And this time around, you might like to make a wish. Calling something into your life, something that you're wishing for. Back to center. And inhale. And another wish if you like. And back to center. And you can let your arms come down either side. I'm just going to do a gentle sway and explore some fluid movement in our body. Now, if you are lying down, you can see if you can get some movement happening in your body as well, getting a little sway against whatever surface you're lying on. It might just look like shifting your body side to side ever so slightly. Just seeing if you can introduce a little bit of movement, a little bit of an exploration of your body and where it might like to take you. And so you might be feeling your body wanting to move around in some small circles or maybe larger circles. Or you might be exploring your shoulders moving around, one up and one down. You might like to bring your arms back into the movement and just explore anywhere they'd like to go. And you're also welcome to stand up if you have the energy, you have the capacity and balance. If you wish to stand up and explore some movement through your legs as well. But as you explore whatever movements, little or big movements that you might be making, see if you can really tune into the feeling of each part of you as you move. So you might like to isolate one part at a time so you can really tune into it. Or you might like to move your whole body but just focus in on the sensations in your arm or the sensations in your foot. Is really connecting with how it feels to move in your body in ways that maybe you don't move throughout your day. And if you wish, you can add an extra layer to this. So do a little habit stacking, and each exhale, see if you can hum. So go on and gather up all that air and then hum. As you move through the movements that your body wants to make. And as you're humming, this is actually stimulating your vagus nerve and massaging it from the inside and helping to send through a calming signal to the amygdala, that grand central station of worry in our brains. Then you can continue on with your fluid movement if you like, or you can bring it back to a bit of stillness. And we might just lay our bodies down if you're able to. So if you are on a mat, just place yourself lengthways. We're just going to lean our body back, and you can keep your feet on the floor, or you can lift them up into a boat pose, just feeling that strength there in your belly and holding for as long as you can. And once you feel ready, you can release your body down onto the mat. And if you're on a chair, just creating the same stance. We're just going to stabilize ourselves and lean the body back. Just creating that same need for your stomach muscles to engage, to hold you in that position. And so if you are on the mat, just lowering yourself down. And if you like, you can just rest here for a moment, or you can pull your buttocks up off the mat, creating a nice line from your knees to your shoulders. And just allow yourself to lower down whenever you need a rest. And another variation is placing your feet together with your knees out wide, lifting your buttocks off that, creating a bit more instability so your body has to work a little harder. So you might like to try both. And if you're doing a practice from a chair, then just moving from that reclined boat, seated boat pose, and taking your weight over your knees. And you'll notice the different muscles that get used as you transition through these two movements, engaging that front section and then engaging the back of your core. And so you can just gently sort of rock back and forth, feeling that strength building, feeling that heat building as you create that strength within yourself. And for anyone who is down here on the mat, exploring that strengthening in the core and in the thighs, and feel free to take a pause and just bring your feet back onto the mat. And from here, we're just going to let our knees fall to one side all the way and just hold for a breath. And then coming back to center and over the other way and hold for another breath before we move with a bit more pace through that transition. So just going at your own pace, your own rhythm. And for anyone practicing from a chair, you're going to do the same thing in a seated position. So just taking one knee down and then bringing it back, getting that rotation there in the hip, taking that one down and bringing it back, and just moving through both of those knees, making sure you're stable on your seat. Just introducing that movement into your hips. It might feel good to just hold on one side for a little longer, really stretch out your thigh, and then do the same on the other side. Or you might prefer to just move through both. And when you feel like you've had enough of this one, just bring your knees up to your chest if you're able, and give yourself a nice little roll around, massaging your back on the mat. For anyone on a chair, you're welcome to just bring one knee up to your chest at a time. Give yourself a little hug here, maybe roll your foot, roll your ankle, bring the other one up. You can roll around as well. Once you feel ready, you can bring one of your feet down onto the mat. We're going to cross the other foot over it, reach through, grab hold of the back of the thigh, one of my favourites. You do it every time, I think. And just bring that stretch towards your chest, as little or as much as you like. Just getting that nice pull down the back of your hamstring. And just breathing through any discomfort. There shouldn't be pain, it should just feel like a nice releasing stretch. So if there is pain, just loosen it off a bit. And for anyone who's practicing from the chair, you can recreate the exact same position with your feet, but you don't bring it up to you, just bring yourself down to it. So you can just lean forward a little, You might even like to take your hands up and go all the way over for a nice big forward fold. It just depends on your own capacity, your own limitations. So just check in with your body where it wants to go, how far it would like to be pushed today. Might be different from other days. And once you've had enough time on this side, then just switch it over, taking that other foot over the other knee, bringing that stretch towards your chest or your chest towards the stretch. And breathing nice and deep into those sensations that are arising within you. And when you feel ready to come out of this one, you could just bring your feet together down onto the mat, letting your knees fall out wide either side and your arms out to either side as well, getting a really big opening in your hips and in your chest. I'm just going to close our eyes down here and breathe nice and deep right into the center of you, into your belly. Let it move all the way through your belly, your ribs and your chest. And then sighing that air out. And for anyone on the seat, on the chair, you might like to just create a similar stance, getting your knees nice and wide, leaning slightly forward so you can feel that opening in the hips. If you'd like, you can bring your hands up as well. And just feeling that breath coming into the very center of you. You can also just have your hands on your hips, or maybe you'd like to place your hands on your body. You can really feel where that air is moving through you. And when you feel ready, you can stretch your legs out in front of you and just put your hands by your sides, facing upwards to receive or downwards to ground. And if you're seated, that's perfectly fine. You can just make yourself comfortable. We're just going to do our tense and release exercise now. So we're going to take a deep breath in and tense up an area. We'll move from our feet all the way up. So we'll hold on to the tension in the area and hold on to our breath just for as long as suits you. You can use my exhale as your cue to let go as well. You can hold for less or more time. But we'll begin now breathing in and flexing your ankles, your feet. And just sighing out and letting it go. And next we'll do from our ankles to our knees. So tensing up your shins, your calves. Deep breath in. And next from knees to buttocks. Deep breath in, tense up those thighs and those buttocks. And next we'll do our lower stomach and lower back. Deep breath in. And next we'll do our chest and upper back. Deep breath in. And next we'll do our neck and shoulders. Deep breath in, tighten them up. And we'll do our hands and our arms, both sides. Deep breath in. And now we're going to do our face and our head. Deep breath in, contort your face in a ridiculous shape because no one's watching you. And letting go. And now we're going to do a whole body tense and release, or if you'd like to just choose one or two areas, you can focus on whichever you choose. Your choice now. Deep breath in. And relaxing and letting go. And when you feel ready, I invite you to just roll your body over if you are on the mat and just press yourself up off the mat there. Coming back to a seated position, or you can remain lying down, is perfectly fine. We're just going to do our tapping once again, moving over each part of our body, getting our life force energy flowing freer, even more freely through the body. So tapping your way up, all the way onto your chest, and tapping over one side. Now, of course, you can do the brushing version if you like. And tapping or brushing your way down for a big happy seal. And tapping back up, all the way up for a big pat on the back. We're almost done. And tapping your way over this other side, all the way down. Big round of applause for us all. And coming back up. Another pat on the back. And gentle raindrops down the face again, just seeing if there's anything more to soften in your expression. And another row. And one more down the sides there. And gentle fists over the top of your head and around to the back of your neck. 3 rows. And tapping on that lower back there on your kidneys and down the side. And coming back up. And we're going to go again from the belly, tapping our way up the body, going at your own pace here. Big happy seals. You can put a smile on your face, see if you can, so you can put one there, see what happens in the rest of your body. Whenever you finish your sequence, you can just bring your hands back to your belly and close your eyes down for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. And allow yourself once again in this peaceful, quiet moment to check in with how you're feeling now. Noticing what might have changed in you since the beginning of the Zoom. what might have risen up or what might have settled. Just noticing how it truly feels to be you in your body and to be witnessing the thoughts in your mind in this moment. We'll finish up with 3 sounds of VU. And as we make this sound, you might like to place one hand on your diaphragm and one on your chest, and if you do, you'll notice how your diaphragm moves through the sound. You might notice how your heart becomes a bit more intensified. You can notice its beat, and you can definitely notice the vibration moving through your body as we send through this final signal to our nervous system that we are safe to heal. So we're just going to make those 3 sounds of VU together now, beginning with a breath in. And that does bring us to the end of our session together today. I would like to thank you all for being here, whether you're here live or watching this recording. There will be a donate link in the text for anyone who is watching this later, and I'll pop one in the chat now in case you would like to make a donation, but of course there is no need to do so. You are welcome here with or without.